Hello. This crane's gonna be a little different than the other cranes that I have folded. Um, because I did try something yesterday that I feel like was something that helped me grow, helped me change, and helped me figure things out. Um, for preface, I have ADHD. I grew up with it my whole life. Didn't realize that it was ADHD. Um, I feel like the church I grew up in is a large part of the reason why I didn't identify it as ADHD. I figured it was just I needed to push harder, work more, focus more, that type of thing. But anyways, um, as an adult, I have been prescribed Adderall, which helps a fair bit, quite a bit. Um, Not perfect, but definitely something that I'm glad is in my life. Um, but I thought, there's methylphenidate as well, commonly known as Ritalin. Um, a lot of people say that if Adderall doesn't work great for you, try that one, and depending on who you are, one will work better than the other. I thought I took the step actually to ask my doctor, hey, can I try this one? See if it actually works better or if I prefer it. So I did that. The doctor was like, okay, sure, you can try it. And I tried it yesterday for the first time. I didn't like it. Oh, it was very different experience for me. I can see why it works for ADHD because it slowed my brain down a fair bit. The way I look at it is my brain is like a multi-core processor. If something comes in, if I'm thinking about something, I'm thinking about a dozen things. If I'm trying to figure something out, by the time I figured out one thing, I've already figured out multiple different angles of it. I've thought it through in many different ways. That's just how my brain works, and I kind of assumed that's how brains worked. But apparently there's a very different experience, which is what I like to call single core processing. Every thought I had, I keep forgetting the camera's over here, not over here. So, camera's there. Every thought I had was deliberate. Every movement I had, I chose how far to move my hands and how much to go. I chose what to think about, and I wasn't thinking through everything all at once. It took me time to sit and process and work through scenarios, and it's just I didn't like that. Some things it did do, it made my sensory experience feel more rich. It was actually quite lovely to go out and walk in a park with that sensation. Sitting around, it felt sleepy, but I felt sleepy, but I couldn't sleep. And the interesting thing about it, part of why I think, well, first off, I think it's a good step for growth because I'm trying to treat my mental health and I am testing out different ways to better improve myself. I think that's important, but a side effect of this that I didn't expect is I understand a lot better. I feel different people's way of thinking, their mindset. Because for some people, that state of mind, that state of being, is normal. That's what life is, not the way I experience it. This multi-core craziness and the multi-core processing that is craziness. It's a lot to manage. I have a dozen different thoughts going through my head all at once. Just talking to you right now, questioning whether I should have waited to hold this up and show it to you. I'm considering the wobble of the microphone above me. I thinking through the next like sentence or two and multiple ways that they could go, and sometimes that's hard to keep up with. Sometimes things come out of my mouth before I've had a time to decide whether that's the option I wanted, because I had 5 or 10 different options of what to say next. So there were definitely some benefits to experiencing that form of a mindset. I feel like it would be a lot better for doing something like mathematics, because I could deliberately choose to think one thing and focus on the next step of it, rather than have many different thoughts go through that. My issue with math has always been I'll end up just writing one letter, number, symbol wrong. Like I'll put a minus instead of a plus because I'm just moving on already to the next thing so fast that I forget to check that I'm doing the right one. But yeah, that experience, that mental experience, I feel like helped me to understand better how different people experience the world, how much different their experience is from mine. Hopefully I can use that to be more compassionate, more empathetic, more able to come up with solutions that fit them rather than just me. Because one issue that I will find is there will be a solution or an idea, and I will immediately be able to discard it because I've thought through a dozen different possible outcomes for it and been able to be like, oh, that's already useless. Or I'll be able to think through multiple different options all at once, discard them or keep them or whatever, and then say, hey, these are our options. And then someone else who doesn't have that same branching path style could potentially, well, basically they'll respond to me like, wait, why are you saying this isn't gonna work? Or why are you only saying these are the options? What about all these other options? And then I can sometimes get impatient being like, those are clearly not good options because all of these reasons. But I wouldn't be able to do that in that other mindset. I would have been that one option at a time, figure out one barrier at a time type of person while on methylphenidate. I don't intend to continue methylphenidate. I might try a quarter dose or something again. I didn't like my day yesterday. And beyond that, just the way it affected my mood and such. The world didn't change, it was just my internal chemistry changed. And it made a huge difference in how I experienced and how I enjoyed or didn't enjoy the world. So, there we go. There's my 13th crane. Thanks for listening.